Welcome back, amigos, and welcome back to our 30-day challenge. Today is day 18 and it's trust, and the reason why I decided to call it trust is because we're going to be focusing a lot on balance with our tippy toes. So not actually on the points of our feet like ballerinas, of course, but I want us to focus a lot on calf strength today. So quite a lot of the usual poses that you know, like warrior two and things like that, we're going to be doing some pointed toe variations. So just do what you can, and if you fall out of a pose, laugh at yourself. It's not a big deal, and just trust the situation and come back into the moment. Okay guys, come to a nice comfortable seat, and as usual, let's tune into the body. Close the eyes, place the hands on the knees and keep the spine nice and long. I just want to point out that noise in the background, which almost sounds a little bit mechanical. That's a bird called a Montezuma. You guys should look him up on Google later. It's a bird here in Costa Rica, absolutely stunning. Really strange looking, but really cool. Sometimes it mimics the sounds of branches breaking and stuff like that, so he's quite an interesting little bird. All right, keep the shoulders back and down. Sit up nice and tall, and let's engage our breath. And like we spoke about yesterday, straight away let's engage our mula bandha. Keeping that nice and tight, and let's begin our breath. 5 deep inhales and exhales. Take one more deep inhale and an exhale. And let's inhale our hands above the head, keeping the eyes closed. Draw the palms together, follow the gaze up with the eyes closed, and exhale to the heart center. Bow your head to your prayer hands and thank yourself for showing up again today. We're so close to day 20 and I'm really proud of you for sticking with this. You can open your eyes. Namaste, let's begin. We're going to come straight into downward facing dog today. So take your time getting there, place the hands shoulder distance apart, fingers nice and spread, and start to lift up through the hips, pushing them back, sucking up through the belly, and if you can, engage your mula bandha, the root lock that we talked about yesterday. Keep everything nice and strong, lifting up through the tailbone. And we're going to hop straight into it, working on the calves today. So inhale, lift through the feet, and really concentrate on engaging those calves, keeping them nice and strong. So we're taking a bit of a tippy-toe downward facing dog here. Breathe here for 3 breaths. Now let's start to bend through the knees, bending through the right, stretching through the left. Stay up on the tippy toes. And then rotate to the opposite direction, staying on the tippy toes, stretching through the right side of the body, bending the left leg. And then come back to the center. And let's tippy toe our way to the front of the mat, bending the legs if you need to. And then when you get there, let's take our forward fold, holding onto the elbows, and allow everything to hang nice and heavy here. On an inhale, look up, halfway lift. Now place your hands on the ground. If you need to bend the legs, then do, and come up onto your tippy toes. If you can straighten the legs and take the fingertips a little forward. Keep your gaze down and just keep those calves nice and engaged here. Sucking in the lower abdomen. You can just release the neck if that feels good and look between the legs, keeping the calves nice and strong, lifting up through the heels. And then release the feet back down. Maybe stretch back on the heels, lifting the toes up towards the body. Taking a bit of a counter pose here. Leaning backwards, keep the hands on the ground. And then place the feet down, toes together, heels slightly apart. And let's inhale the hands up to the sky, hands above the head, look up, and exhale to your heart center. Looking straight ahead, let's inhale, bend the knees, lift the heels up, come onto your tippy toes. Bit of balance pose here. So let's see how the balance is today. Start to exhale, coming down with the hips, coming down to a chair pose, but with the heels lifted. Try your best, guys. Looking straight ahead, sucking in the lower abdomen. If you can engage that Mula Bandha, then engage the Mula Bandha and maybe lift a little higher through the heels, if you can. And then drop the heels back down, come back to standing. Hands by the side. And just return to the natural breath for a moment here in mountain. Close the eyes and just return to your normal breath just for a moment. Keep everything engaged. And then start to deepen the inhales and exhales once again. Inhale the hands to the sky, look up. Exhale, bend through the legs. We're coming back down into our tippy-toe seat, into our tippy-toe chair pose, sorry. But come down without lifting through the calves. Lift the toes up this time in our normal chair. Then drop the toes down, lean forward and start to lift the heels if you can. See if you can sink a little lower. And see if maybe you can lift the heels a little higher. Really zipping the thighs close together. Palms to your heart center and look straight ahead. Exhale, come on up and drop the heels down. Take another moment of silence, stand up nice and tall. Close the eyes and take 3 deep breaths. Now inhale your left leg up towards the chest and we're going to step back for a high lunge. So as slowly as you can, start to lean forward, engaging the abdomen and step all the way back. Keep the heel off the ground. And let's just stay here just for a moment, sink nice and deep, 90-degree angle with the front leg to the ground. Suck in that lower abdomen and if you can, even engage your Mula Bandha. Now let's start to lift up onto the tippy toes with the front foot and hold that for 3 breaths. Now drop that heel down, straighten through the front leg and just hop this back leg slightly more forward. Stay on the tippy toes. And then maybe come up onto the tippy toes on the front foot, lifting that heel off the ground, stand up nice and tall. And if you can, start to lean forward, just a little bit, feel that engagement even more in the calf and then drop the heel. Step forward, let's shake that foot out. We're going to do the same on the other side. So inhale, lift the right leg, this time. Lean forward, Send that leg behind you, and as slowly as you can, come down. Keeping that heel off the ground, and if you're losing your balance like me, don't worry. So keeping that heel off the ground, start to lean forward. Stay here just for a breath. And then start to lift through the front foot, lifting the heel off the ground. Keep your gaze on something that isn't moving and hold for 3 breaths if you can. Now drop the heel. Step the back foot slightly forward. Keep the heel off the ground at the back. And maybe start to lift through the front leg, just lifting that heel off the ground a little bit. Start to lean forward ever so slightly and just hold this. 3 breaths if you can. And then drop the heel and step forward. Give that foot a shake, the front foot and just shake them both out. Let's shake everything out. Great job. Inhale the hands above the head, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, look up. Place the hands and come up onto your tippy toes. Lift those heels off the ground. Engage through the calves. Suck in the lower belly. There's a lot going on here. You can either keep your gaze completely down or drop forward and look between the legs. Hold this for 3 breaths. And then bring the heels down. Inhale, halfway lift once again. Plant the hands and let's step back into our plank. Take the easy version of plank by dropping the knees if you need to. We're going to take a chaturanga, come all the way down to the belly and take a baby cobra, or take a chaturanga to upward facing dog. Look up. Exhale into downward facing dog. If you need to take a child's pose here, then feel free to do that. Otherwise, just walk through the legs in your down dog. And when you're ready, let's inhale and come up onto our tippy-toe down dog. Send the tailbone up towards the sky. Stay nice and strong through the hands and arms. Suck in that lower abdomen. Let's take 3 deep breaths here. Now keep your toes up, keep your heels up off the ground. And those that are in child's pose, meet us here in a tippy-toe downward facing dog. And let's start to walk our hands behind us, staying up on the tippy toes if you can. If you can't, don't worry, drop them down for a moment. And then bring them down and walk the hands all the way back, grabbing onto the elbows and hanging forward. If you need to bend your knees, do that. Just hang forward here and relax for a moment. Inhale, halfway lift, look up. Exhale, plant the hands, lift the heels off the ground, look straight down once again. Drop them down. Inhale the hands above the head. Touch them above the head and draw them to your heart center. Let's take a moment here once again just to relax, come back into the body. If you need to shake the legs out, give them a little shake and then become still in your mountain. Hands by the side, closing the eyes. On an inhale, your hands up to the sky, touch them above the head and start to lift up through the calves, lifting the heels off the ground. Keep the hands above the head and just look straight forward at something that isn't moving. It's very good balance, what am I trying to say? Very good balance practice, that's what I'm trying to say. And don't worry if you fall out of it. And then release down. Shake the legs out again. Let's take a step to the front of the mat. Inhale our right leg to the sky, our left leg to the sky. Step back, back into our high lunge. Now we're going to do a little bit of dynamic movement in our high lunge. So keeping that heel at the back off the ground. The front foot, keep it just facing forward, keep the hips facing forward. On an inhale, we're going to straighten through the front leg and lift up onto the tippy toes and raise the arms up to the sky. So inhale, lift up, raise the hands. Exhale, bend down. Bring the arms down by the side, lifting the heel a little higher. Now inhale, hands to the sky, lift up through the leg. Keep that heel off the ground if you can. Exhale, come on down, lift the heel even higher. Inhale, hands to the sky, but this time drop the heel. Straighten through the front leg. Exhale, lift the heel, come on down, hands by the side. Again, inhale up, heel at the front to the ground, straighten through the legs, arms to the sky. Exhale, come on down, arms come down, heel comes off the floor at the front leg. One more time, inhale, hands to the sky, heel drops down, straighten the front leg. Just keep looking straight ahead at something that isn't moving. Exhale down, heel off the ground, hands by the side. And then come back to neutral, dropping the heel and step forward. Give your feet a little shake out. We're going to do the same on the other side. Now we're going to step the right foot backwards now. So inhale the right foot up. Exhale, start to lean forward and step back into your high lunge. You're going to do the same dynamic movement on this side. So come into your high lunge, hips squared to the front of the mat. Sink down low, keep that back heel off the ground. As you inhale, raise the hands to the sky and lift up off of the front heel. Inhale and straighten the leg. Exhale, hands down, keep off that heel if you can. Maybe lift it a little higher as you come down with the hands by the side. Inhale, lift up, keep that heel off, look straight ahead. Ooh, I'm losing my balance. Exhale down. See if you can lift that heel a little higher. Hands by the side. Inhale, arms up, straighten through the front leg. Heel off the ground, straight leg, hands up. One more time. Exhale down, arms by the side. Lift through the heel and then drop the heel. Let's do that, but with the heel coming down and up. So on an inhale, lift up, straighten through the front leg, keep the heel down, hands to the sky. As you exhale, drop the hands, bend through the front leg and come up off the heel. Inhale, drop the heel, straighten the leg, arms to the sky. Exhale, arms down, bend through the leg, lifting the heel. One more time. Inhale, drop the heel, hands to the sky, straighten the leg. Exhale, drop the arms, bend through the front leg and lift the heel. Great job. Now drop the heel. Straighten through the leg a little bit and let's step forward. Give your feet a little shake out. This is tough work, guys. I'm very proud of you for giving it a go. If you haven't managed to stay up on the heels, off the heels as much as I have, don't worry, just keep practicing. Come into a nice stable mountain. Hands by the side, sucking in the lower abdomen. Try to engage your Mula Bandha. Let's come back to the breath. Take 3 deep breaths here. And then allow your breath to return to its normal rhythm. We're just going to take a moment to tune back into the body, to relax everything before we continue. Now inhale your hands to the sky, touch them above the head, look up at the palms, draw them to the heart center. Let's take a wide stance here and just start to move through the hips from side to side. Now turn the toes to face the long edges of the mat, so away from each other. Start to bend down into the heels, coming down for goddess. Keep the knees apart as wide as you can. Maybe you need to walk your feet slightly closer for this, so that the knees are a little bit forward of the heels. On an inhale, you can keep your hands on your thighs, lift up through the heels. Exhale down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale down. Inhale, one more lift. And if you lose it like I did, don't worry. Inhale, lift up, exhale down. Take your feet to face the front once again, and we're going to just come down for a forward fold. Bend through the knees if you need to. Come forward. Just relax the neck and the body, and maybe do some waves here with the body, straightening through one leg, bending through the other. Move from side to side, bending and straightening the legs. When you're ready, become still. Keep the legs bent if you want. Interlace the hands behind the back. And just fold forward, allowing the hands to fall up and over the head for a nice shoulder opener here. Stretching through the shoulders. Perhaps move your shoulders from left to right, getting a little deeper into each side. And then plant the hands. Let's walk our feet closer to each other, around hip distance apart. Keep the feet turned outwards, not too far out, just about a 45-degree angle. Sink the hips. We're going to come down for Malasana, yogi squat. If you need to walk the heels a little closer, then do that. Drop the hips as low as you can. For some of you, you might be up here and this is enough, and that's fine. That just means your hips are a little tight at the moment. So if you're up there, stay up there. Maybe even place your hands on the floor if this is going to help you. And just use your arms to push the knees apart. If you can drop your bum all the way down, use your elbows to push the legs even further apart. Sit up nice and tall, and wherever you are, let's take 3 deep breaths. Wonderful. Let's release. Release the legs, come down onto your bum from your Malasana. And let's send our legs out in front of us. Well, just one leg, in fact. Let's take our right leg forward. Bring the left heel in towards the right groin. If you need to bend the leg, do that. And see if you can grab onto the back of your foot and just pull that foot towards your body. If you can straighten through the leg, then use your hand to pull the foot closer, just getting a nice stretch in the back of the calf here. Lean as forward as you can, only until it's comfortable and not so that you feel any pain. This should be quite an enjoyable stretch and nothing too intense. So remember, if you need to bend the knee, then do that. Even if it means that your knee is up here and you want to hold onto the foot, just pull it towards the body. So wherever you are, we're going to take 3 deep breaths. Pulling that foot towards the body. Take one more deep inhale. And then release the foot. Point the toes this time. Lean forward. And enjoy that stretch. Now release the leg wherever you are. We're going to swap over. Take your left leg in front of you, right foot to the inside of the left leg here, close to the groin as you can. Remember to bend the legs and just hold on and stretch the toes back, pulling the foot towards you. If this is enough, just sit up nice and tall and be here. If you can start to straighten the leg, be where you are, wherever you are. Pull on that foot, pulling it close to you, getting deep into that calf. Lean forward when you can. And let's take 3 deep breaths. Take one more deep breath before we come up. Then come on up. Wherever you are, point the toes and lean forward, feeling through that stretch now. And release. Take both legs out in front of you, and we're going to do the same thing but with both legs now. So if your legs need to be bent, pull on the feet, perhaps try to straighten them when it feels like your body's ready to let go. If not, then stay there. Wherever you are, really engage through the feet, pull them towards the body, sucking in the lower abdomen, and just relax your head either onto your knees if they're bent, or all the way down onto your shins if you can lean all the way forward, depending on your flexibility at this point in your practice. Now release the feet, point the toes, lean forward with them pointed, wherever you are. And then release, come on up. Let's come down to our backs, which I'm sure sounds like music to your ears right now. I'm just going to move my mic out of the way. We're going to do a couple of spinal twists before we come into our final resting pose, Savasana. In fact, you know what, guys? We've done quite a lot of forward folds, so I'd like to just take a little back bend before we continue. So this is, we're going to come into fish pose. Let's straighten through the legs. Keep your back flat just for a moment, straighten through the legs. Now we're going to come up, so come up onto your elbows. Send your hands close to your bum, maybe even placing your thumb behind the bottom here. Start to lean the hips forward, lifting up through the chest. So you're lifting through the chest, drop the head back from here, keeping the elbows nice and close together. Don't move the neck, just allow it to hang heavy. If you want to use your hands at the base of the spine, you can use it just for some support. Lifting up, feeling that back bend. Take 3 deep breaths. On an exhale, start to come through the spine and lift the head last. And then let's relax our hands by the side and take our twists. So take your hands out to the side of you, out to a T. Now we're going to cross the right leg on top of the left, either just once or twice, whatever feels better for your body. Let's send the hips over towards the right side of the mat, and then let the knees drop over towards the left. Send your gaze over to the right, so the opposite direction of the knees. And let's close our eyes and take 5 deep breaths here. Inhale the legs to the center, unwrap them, and let's take the left leg on top of the right, either just once or twice. Then send the hips over towards the left side. And then allow the knees to drop over to the right, sending the gaze over towards the left in the opposite direction of the knees. Close your eyes and take 5 deep breaths. Take one more deep breath. And on your next inhale, let's raise up through the knees, come back to center, uncross the legs, and we're going to come in for our final resting pose, sending the legs out long. Allow them to be a little wider than hip distance apart. Allow everything to relax here. Hands facing up towards the sky, fingertips nice and soft in their natural curve. Your face facing up towards the sky, and just close your eyes here. Feel everything melting into the ground. Feel the weight of your body against the floor. And just let every muscle in the body start to relax. I'm going to allow you this time for complete stillness and silence. Just enjoy the sounds of nature around us here in Costa Rica. I'll be back with you in a minute, and you're welcome to stay as long as you like. And remember to allow your thoughts to pass, pay them no attention. Instead, send your attention to the rise and fall of your chest and all the sensations in the body. For those of you ready to close off your practice, together with me start to wiggle the fingertips, feeling that tingling sensation, and then the toes, and then start to move the joints, moving through the wrists and through the ankles. Rotate them in one direction and then the other. Start to deepen your inhales and your exhales, starting to waken the body. On an inhale, reach the hands above the head. Give the body a lovely stretch. For those of you enjoying your Savasana that aren't ready to finish, keep enjoying. And for those of you that are coming out of Savasana, draw your hands into your heart center. thank yourself for showing up on the mat today. I look forward to tomorrow. I look forward to flowing with you again. Until then, namaste.